All right, let's get right into it. Think of this as an investigation. All around us, a crime is unfolding, an environmental crime. And today, we're the detectives on the case. Our job? Follow the clues, figure out who's responsible, and see if we can crack it wide open.
Okay, take a look at this. This is Exhibit A, our first piece of evidence. This should be a beautiful, vibrant waterway, right? But instead, it's sick. That unnatural green color, that's not just some ugly pollution, it's the beginning of a trail of clues. A silent alarm telling us that something is seriously, deeply wrong here.
So who's going to solve this thing? Well, that's where you come in. For the next few minutes, you're not just watching, you're a detective. Your mission is to look at the evidence with me, connect the dots, and figure out how to solve this thing. You ready? Let's do this.
So our investigation is going to take us to 3 different but totally connected crime scenes. First, we've got these dirty, poisoned streams. Then, we'll head to villages where the water has just vanished. And finally, we'll hit the coast, where beaches are literally choking on plastic. Each scene is a piece of a much bigger puzzle.
All right, let's open up our first case file. We've got to be methodical here, right? Let's look at every single clue to really understand what's going on, and more importantly, why.
So here we are, case file number 1, the poisoned waterway. You have to imagine, this place was once buzzing with life, full of fish, providing clean water for everyone around. Now, look at it. It's basically a foamy, polluted drain. It's like nature is literally screaming for help.
And when you look at the evidence, wow, it's pretty damning. The cause? It's a mix of unchecked waste from industries and just our regular household trash. And the effect? A total ecosystem collapse. The fish are literally suffocating, dying from a lack of oxygen. But this isn't just about the fish, The villagers, the people who live here, they don't have clean water anymore, and that creates a huge health risk. We're talking about serious diseases like cholera and typhoid making a comeback.
Okay, let's move on to our next crime scene. Case file number 2 is a little different. Here, the crime isn't what's there, it's what's missing. We're talking about a village where the wells are just dry. The ground is cracked and parched. The water, the very lifeblood of this place, is just vanishing right in front of everyone. So what do the clues tell us? Well, it looks like a 1-2 punch. First, you've got climate change messing with rainfall. Second, people are using way too much water way too fast. The result? Groundwater levels have absolutely plummeted. And listen, this isn't just some abstract environmental problem. This is a full-blown economic and social disaster. Crops are failing, animals are dying, and families? They're being forced to just pack up and leave their homes behind. Generations of history just turning to dust. All right, on to our third and final case file, the choking coastline. Picture a beautiful beach, but instead of sand and seashells, it's just covered in a thick blanket of plastic. It's like a graveyard for all our single-use stuff, and it comes with some really deadly consequences.
The evidence here is just stark. We're talking millions of marine animals dying every year because they mistake this plastic junk for food. But there's a hidden danger, something even scarier. All that plastic, it breaks down into these tiny, invisible bits called microplastics. Fish eat them, and then, we eat the fish. They get into our bodies. And get this, studies suggest these little plastic invaders can mess with our hormones. So you see, the victim here isn't just the ocean, it's us. Okay, so let's recap. We've got a poisoned river, a village with no water, and a beach drowning in plastic. At first glance, they might seem like separate problems, right? But they're not. They are all connected. So now it's time for the big reveal. Let's connect the dots and unmask the real culprits.
And here they are, the usual suspects. This isn't a single villain, it's a whole crew of them. Suspect number 1, industrialization that's totally out of control, just dumping waste everywhere. Suspect 2, our own habits, this buy it, use it, toss it culture. Suspect 3, the big one, climate change driven by burning fossil fuels. And finally, suspect 4, we're just using up our natural resources way too fast. The scary part? They're all working together, feeding off each other in this vicious cycle.
Look, I get it. Hearing all this, it's easy to feel kind of helpless, right? The problem seems huge, but this is the pivot. This is the turning point in the whole case, because this case is not hopeless. The solutions are out there. In fact, they're already working in some places, and they are absolutely within our reach.
So, enough about the problem, let's talk about the proof. I want to show you some real-world wins, actual success stories that prove we can stop these culprits in their tracks and even reverse some of the damage.
And check this out. When we actually take targeted action, the results are amazing. You've got polluted streams. Well, with regular cleanups and tougher rules for factories, you get clean water and ecosystems bouncing back. Facing water scarcity, smart tech like drip irrigation for farms can cut water use by up to 50%. And that plastic mess, things like banning single-use bags and just making people aware can have a truly massive impact.
Wait, let's just hang on that last point for a second. 70%. A 70% drop in single-use plastics just from some focused campaigns. That isn't just chipping away at the problem. That's a monumental shift. It just goes to show you, when we actually decide to do something, the results can be absolutely dramatic.
So what's the secret sauce here? What do all these wins have in common? It's not some crazy new technology or magic wand. It's actually pretty simple. Determined people, a solid plan, and a community that gets behind it. That's it. That's the formula.
Okay, you've seen the evidence, you know who the culprits are, and you've seen that these problems can be solved. So the investigation part of our job is done. Now it's time for action. So consider yourself officially deputized. You are now a detective for the future, and I've got your first assignment right here.
Assignment number 1, consume consciously. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Before you buy something, just stop and ask yourself, do I really need this? See, every single dollar you spend is like casting a vote. When we choose to buy less, we cut waste off right at the source.
Okay, assignment number 2, choose sustainably. This is your tactical move. Grab those reusable bags, bottles, and coffee cups. When you're shopping, look for stuff made from recycled materials. Every time you do this, you're helping to starve that giant machine that just pumps out endless waste.
And your final assignment, honestly, this is the most important one of all. Don't stop being a detective. When you see something wrong in your own neighborhood, a polluted stream, too much trash, don't just ignore it. Investigate. Ask why. Talk about it. Remember, every great detective story starts with someone noticing a small clue that everyone else just walks right past.
And just remember this, okay? You don't need to be a superhero to change the world. It's not about one single grand gesture. It's about all of our small, determined actions adding up to something huge. All you really need is a heart that's willing to care, a mind that's open to solutions, and just the courage to take that first step.
So there you have it. The case file is open, the clues are all on the table, and we've seen that there's a clear path forward. So now there's really only one question left, and it's the most important one. The case is in your hands now. What are you going to do?